Oh, that's good. That's really good. Hey, Tomodachi, welcome back to the Nicholas Pettis Vlogs with your host, Nicholas Pettis. That's double Nicholas Pettis. I'm vlogging today because I thought I'd touch base with you guys and just talk a little bit about what happened today 3 years ago when Koichi, my number one best student and also younger brother from another mother, passed away in a motorcycle accident. It was early in the morning and he was on his way to the gym. I had moved on to doing CrossFit and he was still teaching kickboxing and training people and stuff like that. It was very sudden. He was 36 years old and he left behind him two boys. Isa, who's now 11, and then Aiden, who's now 3, or almost 3. And I became instantly godson to them, which is a godfather to them, and it's quite an honor to be able to help and support his children, because I want to share with you another story of Koichi. Yes, so the last time I fought in the K1 was in Hawaii, actually. We'd been training together for, I don't know, about 10 years at the time, and randomly, or not randomly, but we were both lucky enough to get a fight on the same card, which was actually not a good thing, because that meant that we couldn't support each other in the back room of the actual day of the fight. So we brought some friends along to help us out during the day. We'd actually gone to Hawaii 2 weeks early, and we were staying in a place that was fantastic at Kahala Beach. We shared like this, what do you call it, a bungalow or a mansion or whatever it is, like a big apartment. And my kids were there. At the time, the wife was also there. And so we were all staying in this place where we're eating and training. And what we would do every morning, we'd go down to where there was this little swimming pool. The kids would be crazy swimming around and stuff like that. But there was a tiny little gym with a couple of running machines. So we would do our sprint intervals, and then we'd put on the shin pads, put on the gloves, and then it would just be combinations and sparring. And it was really, really cool. It was a really special time for us. We were super strict on the food that we were eating. Went to bed early, no alcohol. Yeah, it was just a magical time in our lives. And then we get to the fight, and very unfortunately, he fought Rico Verhoeven, which is now a super champion in Glory, when he was still up and coming fighter. And he got, I think, punched in the eye in the first round, and then he went on, I think, until the second or third round. I think it went all the way, actually. He lost on decision, and then he felt like he was a bit nauseous and dizzy and stuff like that. So they checked him out and said, hey, you got to go to the hospital because it looks like it's more serious. What had happened was that he'd gotten punched so hard in the face that his eye socket had actually ruptured, and so they needed to literally, physically, and it's a pretty horrible story, go in, remove the eyeball and pop it back up, and then put a mesh under his eyeball and then put the eyeball back in. And that's why I posted a Facebook photo of him when he was in the hospital with a big eye patch on today. Which is a quite amazing operation when I think about it. It's just it's incredible what doctors can do. And so he lost that fight. But also in my fight, I went in against some American kickboxer, and I was in a tournament. And there was a lot of attention on me because I was like the favorite to win that tournament. But in the last training session, before we went to Hawaii, the TV crew had come over and they were like, we want to shoot you, Nick, because we want to make sure that we get some sparring scene. And I was like, I'm done sparring. It's too close to the fight. I don't want to spar. And they said, just 1 round. Yeah, and so I said, okay, I'll do 1 round. In that 1 round, I did a switch around and did a low kick on Koichi. It was with Koichi I was sparring with him. And then I tore a muscle in my groin, and I knew I'd done something wrong. And so that 1 round that I was not supposed to do, everything was going according to plan. I was in great shape to try to please the camera, and then so I tore a muscle. Anyway, so it was partially torn when I went to Hawaii, and I was remember being every time we were running on a treadmill, every step I took was painful, but it wasn't completely ruptured. It was like a micro tear. Anyway, get into the fight, and the first kick I threw, I knew I'd ruptured it straight away. So I had to pull out of that fight, obviously. Got booed off stage. It was pretty embarrassing. So you could say the least that it was a really bad day at the office for the two of us. I ended up going back to Japan earlier than him, and he stayed on for another 2 weeks because he couldn't fly because of the operation. And then my kids and wife stayed over there for a little bit longer, so he was taking care of them while he was there. That was really nice of him. I just thought I'd share this story with you guys. Obviously today, because it's the day that he passed away, I'm going to remember him, and I'm going to put on this necklace that he used to wear walking into fights. I remember taking it off and then putting it on me while he was fighting, and then I'd put it back on him when he finished the fights. May you rest in peace, brother. I miss you tremendously. But trust me, you're always with me in my heart.